I'm nearing completion where I can at least start the engine now and test it and make sure everything's working okay before I put the quarter panels back on. I've connected all the wiring, I put the engine computers on, the TCU as well, and I've connected the ground connections where they're supposed to go, just enough to make sure that I can run the engine, not too long, but just about like 20-30 seconds, enough to make sure that everything is working properly. There's no leaks. I've also went ahead and put new transmission fluid in the transmission because I just don't trust any cars that were in the auction. I don't know if it has less transmission fluid or if it's been overfilled or if there's none. Make sure when you get a car from the auction that you're checking all these things. In this case, I weren't able to check it. I just rather just replace and service the transmission fluid. This way it's a good peace of mind. I've also went ahead and drained out all of the gas. I don't know what kind of gas was in there. I don't know if any water got into this. This has been left open for a while. I did have the car sitting outside. The car was sitting in snow as well. It's kind of open, so water can just get in there, and this just kind of, it's like that, right? So I don't know if it has water or not, so I just went ahead and drained the gas anyway, and I'm putting new fuel in there. I'm gonna be replacing that pyro fuse with a new one to make sure that it does start with when I hit the start button. So I'm gonna put the new one in now. I've added oil in the car, and I'm just gonna hook up a battery charger to it, and I think it's time to start the car. I'm gonna prime the fuel pump since I had the line disconnected, so I'm gonna turn this on and off a few times just to make sure it gets enough fuel in the system before. Okay, so this is new. It's saying safe over here, so that typically means the car is in immobilized mode. Yeah, it's not letting me start the car. Okay, so I am going to just check out what that problem is. So this car has two engine computers. There's a left and right. They're not really labeled. They have the exact same part numbers. So what I'm going to try to do, I'm just going to try to swap the left to the right because they're the exact same ECUs and they plug in the exact same way. So I'm just thinking, I think I have the ECUs in reverse order. So I'm just going to swap these positioning and then I'm going to go try to start the car again. All right, I've just swapped out the engine control units. This is a transmission control unit. It's only one of these. So I swapped these ones out left to right. I'm going to try to start the car now. Hopefully it starts up. We'll find out. Just going to prime the fuel pumps again. I'm really happy the car started. I can't run it for that long. It has no coolant in it. I just ran it long enough just to find out if there's any leaks in the system. So I'm gonna lift the car up, get underneath, check everything out, and if everything looks okay, then I'm gonna go ahead and start assembling all the body panels. I'm just doing an inspection now to make sure that there's no leaks. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look at all the connections and lines, all the connection points. I just wanna take a look and make sure that there's no leaks or anything. I went ahead and labeled this the ECU passenger as well, just so I don't forget this one belongs to the passenger side. So I'm just gonna lift the car up and make sure that everything is okay before I put the panels back on. But so far from what I can see, that there's no leaks. Anything in the fuel system doesn't look like nothing is out of order. Everything looks okay. There's no leaks. So far so good. Just lifted the car up, so let's take a look and see if there's anything wrong or anything leaking. So this is where I fill the transmission fluid from. Looks like that's dry. This is a drain point for the transmission. Looks good. This is the oil system, so I just want to make sure that there's nothing leaking from the oil lines. That looks good. This to the oil cooler. I don't see any leaks here either. That looks good as well. So everything looks okay. The belt. So I don't see anything that's wrong. I don't think that there's any engine oil leaks or transmission fluid leaks, so that's a good thing. Just installed a quarter panel on this side. I think it's fitting really nice. There's a lot of adjustments when you're putting these on. There's basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 back here. So there's a lot of areas where when you put the quarter panel on that has to be adjusted. And then we have these screws over here which are reverse thread. So if you turn it right, it comes out. Is to basically put the spacing in right properly when the quarter panel is on, so it lines up with the door properly. So if it's a little too in or out, that can be adjusted by these screws here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the quarter panel on. I'm just gonna give this area a little bit of cleanup, get rid of all the dust and stuff, make sure that it's really clean inside, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put the quarter panel back on. So the new bumper is here. This is an OEM original factory bumper. I got rid of the last bumper. It was just a horrible quality. And this is hopefully, I'm just hoping that it's gonna fit on perfectly. And I just got it painted from the body shop. And I'm just gonna put this back on now. Probably noticed that these wheels are not the same ones that I had on the car before. I picked these up because the other wheels needed tires and these were listed for very cheap. So I found a really good deal on these on Marketplace. So I went ahead and picked these up instead. And I think they look great and they match with the front bumper as well.